Hi there, it's Golden Boy. Today I'll be making a video on Jin's wall enders in Season 4. What sparked me to make this video is that I was having a discussion with another Jin player who said he liked using 1, 2, 3 at the wall. Um, I completely disagree with this, so I was just going to make this video to explain my thoughts and feelings behind it. So, just as a note before we start, against any big character, like that's Bears, Gigas, Marduk, I think even Fulcrum now after the hitbox changes, 1, 2, 3 into Can is guaranteed at the wall, and you should always do this against big characters. It's just too much damage, nothing else is worth doing. The value you get out of this is huge. So, that aside, I've set this Jin to the white Jin to tech roll right. So let's start by using 1, 2, 3 at the wall. 1, 2, 3 at the wall, down 2. The scary option for the white Jin eating here is down 2 at the wall. As we can see, if he tech rolls right, there's no way down 2 can hit him. So he completely avoids that option, and the wall splat does 39 damage, and that Jin gets out the wall for free because the red Jin whiffs the down 2, and he gets enough plus frames to stand up and do a micro step right and block. So it'll actually put us both at this sort of side angle here. What Jin can do to counter this, the red one, is he can do 1, 2, 3 into down 4. It's consistent. I don't know why it's whiffing sometimes, but it's consistent. Yeah. And this does 47 damage, so keep that number in mind, 47. So that's an option Jin has to beat staying on the ground and tech rolling, because down 4 hits on the ground. The other two options Jin do here a lot is 1, 2, 3 into forward forward 2, and 1, 2, 3 into down 1. The reasons they'll do this is it's just to catch anyone who just gets up and ducks, or anyone who just decides to do a get up kick. So that's basically covers all his good options from 1, 2, 3, and I'll discuss why I don't like them. As we look at his normal wall combos, Jin here, is that 47 damage is a noticeably less than his other wall combos here. You know, this is 53. Geyser, his biggest damage combo, does 53. The reason it's doing 53, the same as 3-1 forward 1-2, is because this is a very unscaled combo. It's only one hit, and 3-1's 4 hits, so actually 3-1 should do less damage. If you're doing it at the end of a combo, 3-1 will do the least damage. Savage Sword will do 1 damage more than 3-1, and Geyser will do the most. As you see here, since it's unscaled, Savage Sword actually does the least. So, as we can see, it just does less damage than any one of Jin's wall options here. And I think tech rolling here is just such a good option for the defensive Jin, just because it completely stuffs all his options. You know, you're going to be getting less damage, and after that down 4 hits, I mean, the Jin gets a tech roll and get out the wall for free. So, it's just not a good... it just beats too many options, tech roll. The red Jin, to beat it, he can dash in, do it down 2. But what we notice here, if this Jin decides to dash in, do it down 2 to catch the tech roll, if it hits, the white Jin is often just sent a mile away out the corner. So you get extra damage now. You get 58 damage, which is 5 more than his other wall combos, his optimal ones. But you're basically taking 5 damage to lose the positioning advantage, which is, you can, if this Jin was on a life lead or still on a decent amount of health, you could argue this is a better situation for the defensive Jin. He's taking a little bit extra damage, but he's gotten out the wall for free. So, and I'll also mention with this, sorry, wrong combo. It sometimes just whiffs like that, and that's a fairly consistent thing that happens. I would say that happens like 40% of the time. A way I figured out to get around it is just you can really delay your dash. But the thing is, if you start doing like really long dashes with this on OK, that opens up to you getting get up kicked. Like, the Jin doesn't always have to tech roll. I think as a defensive player, you should tech roll almost all the time. But occasionally a good opponent will just throw out a get out kick, and if you dash in and do it down 2 and this Jin decides to do a toe tap, he'll get up for free. Or you can just do a get up low kick, which is 14 frames in the face up, feet towards position, and that's a counter hit launcher. Or you could just do a get up mid kick, which is 12 frames, and it's not a launcher, but it'll get him up. If it hits, it'll knock you away and you'll get up for free. And even if he tech rolls, if you're doing really long dashes, that gives him enough time to get up low block, or it gives him enough time to get up. He could just tech roll wake up kick. So he could just do this tech roll, do a low wake up kick. I would just get counter hit launched there, or have a good chance of getting counter hit launched there. So that makes it very risky for the red and black Jin. So that's why I just don't like 1, 2, 3 at the wall. Tech roll just beats too many options, and the options Jin gets are not that good, and the reward on hit isn't that good. Like, you're most often against ultimately, since every 2 options this white Jin does on defense beats every 1 option this white Jin does in defense beats 2 of the black and red Jin's offensive options. So mathematically, 33% of the time you'll be hitting a down 2, and the other 2 times this Jin will just guess right and get out of that situation. But against good players, when you're fighting against good players who start knowing the matchup, they know which way to tech Jin, they can recognize your tendencies, they know the OK game and the get up game very well in Tekken. I would say they would probably beat that every 9 out of 10 times. So maybe for every 10 times you try it, you'll be hitting it 1 or 2 times against a good opponent. And since you'll just be whiffing it most of the time, getting 39 damage, or you'll be doing down 4 instead, you'll just be losing damage every time you get a wall splat. So you'll just be losing too much damage for it ever to be worth doing a down 2. You just lose too much damage all the time. It's just consistency. Just take the more damaging wall combo and the better position. You can see Korean and pro players, they say the number 1 thing in Tekken is consistency. You want to be a consistent player who wins because you do good habits. You don't want to be cheesing your way to good players with these bad flowcharts like this, and then just have good players completely stuff your flowcharts. You want to be doing, optimal stuff. Let's just talk about the Season 3 optimal wall enders, which were Savage Sword. And of course, against this specific wall splat, it'd be 3-1 forward, 1-2. The reason you would do these is that the Okizeme isn't great. Like, Jin has very, very poor Okizeme off his wall enders. But the main thing here is you're just getting more damage, and you're maintaining the positional advantage. So consistently, you'll just consistently be doing more damage, and you'll be keeping a good position. So this is just the more consistent option in my eyes. If you did 1, 2, 3 and hit a down 2 10 times in a row, yeah, okay, it's better than the other wall enders, but you're just never going to do that against any opponent with any game knowledge who knows what they're doing. That's just never going to happen. You're going to hit it 1 in 10 times and just be losing so much damage. So now we've explained that, let's move on to his new wall ender, Geyser. A lot of people call it Geyser. I don't know why. It's pronounced Geyser. So Geyser, this is his most damaging wall combo, and the crazy thing about it is that flip over OK on it. So I'm going to take him off tech rolling, set him to not do anything. The reason this option is terrifying is because the defensive Jin is in a face down, feet away position. This position is the worst position to be in Tekken, and I'll quickly elaborate on it. The get up kicks from this position are 20 frames, which means they're reactable and they're both launch. So if you do a get up kick in this position, it's incredibly slow and it's reactable and it's launch. If you do that, you're basically asking to just get hit by a counter hit launcher, get wall splatted, or just it's not going to end well for you. So also in this position, you are your hitbox is bigger, so moves that don't normally hit the ground start hitting grounded. Like Jin's down back 4, Geyser leaves you in about this position, and down back 4 hits. It doesn't always hit. It hits like half the time. It's a very specific angle, but Geyser actually leaves you in that angle for that to hit. So it's whiffing a lot here, but yeah, normally it's fairly like consistent. Yeah, like you'll be left in this angle, and that's just an example just to show you how much bigger your hitbox is. Moves that don't hit grounded start hitting grounded. The crazy thing is we remember with 1, 2, 3 here, or the other wall combo we did, when we landed a down 2, the opponent just got to down 2 is actually -2 on hit, as you can see here. So the opponent got knocked away, we were -2, and they got the tech roll, stand up, and we were even. Like, it was just neutral. No one had any frame advantage. The crazy thing here is your get up options are so slow that if you eat a down 2, there's nothing you can do to retaliate. And look, like, there's just the only option this Jin has here is to get up low block or side roll to the side. And I'll quickly just tell you, if you side roll in this position, it's a good option. Side roll is one of the best options in this position, but the terrifying thing is your hitbox becomes even bigger when you side roll. So Jin's like forward 4, it starts hitting. If you side roll and I forward 4, that will just hit you and knock you out your side roll. So it is a risky option, the side roll, but it's probably one of your only decent options in this position, because the other ones are just launch. So if you side roll, you just have to accept that you might be just eating a hit in this position. And yeah, as you can see, it's just a terrifying position. Like, if you take a down 2, you're just still in a 50-50 position. If you decide to get up, you know, I have the frame advantage, you're standing up, I can enforce a 50-50. If you side roll, I could hit you out because your hitbox is so big. So it's just a nasty situation to be in. Just as a note, in this position, I'll tell you another great option from this position, what the Koreans do. If you're in this position, if you tap up, that is your fastest option, and tapping up will make you stand up. So you'll use your hands and you'll stand up. And a good option is to tap up and press 4. And if you tap up and press 4, that gets you a while standing 4. And that's actually your fastest option from this stance. But just be careful, some characters while standing 4s are unsafe. So you might want to do like a different move depending on what character you are. But that's your safest, fastest option standing up, at least as Jin. And if you're far away, I wouldn't recommend just whiff a move in someone's face. Of course, you might get whiff punished. Just if you're far away, just tap up and stand up. But the crazy thing in this scenario is standing up at the wall is just you're just taking a 50-50. The person will see you stand up, and you'll just be able to just down forward ones too fast. Like any options too fast, you're just gonna get hit before you manage to even press at the wall. So we'll send back to tech rolling to show you how messed up this is. I think Geyser is +7. Sorry, not on wall combo. Take that back, +13. So Geyser is so plus on hit that actually tapping up is not an option. You cannot stand up because... Sorry, he's tech rolling. Oh, Jesus, I shouldn't have said the tech roll yet. Sorry, guys. So there. If I don't fail the back forward input. If you try standing up, down 2, I'm plus 13. This is 19 frames. He just doesn't have enough frames to stand up. He's just going to eat this and get knocked back down. So he can't stand up. Same with down 4, that will just interrupt him trying to stand up. He just doesn't have the frames, the white Jin, to stand up. So exactly, and we just went over that. If you stay down and you get hit, you're still in that horrible 50-50 scenario. You're not out of that bad situation. So most players will just always tech roll in this scenario. They just don't want to risk staying on the ground, getting hit, and still being in a 50-50. So they'll just tech roll and take the 50-50. So, so let's look what happens when you tech roll. And this is the crazy thing here. So I get a message on Steam. Jin is so plus with Geyser. If you tech roll, you are forced to eat a 50-50. Jin's slowest option still will be faster than any button you press. And he doesn't have to do a mid here. He could just do a hell sweep. So you're actually just eating a 50-50 here if you tech roll. But that's the mess of thing. Eating that 50-50 is more people would rather eat the 50-50 than stay on the ground because it's so terrifying staying on the ground in that position. So another thing, you don't have to press big moves like hell sweep on Jin when you're doing or crouch dash 1 in this scenario. You can just poke. Jin can just forward dash, forward 4. If it hits, take your +4 at the wall. I don't want to be risky. I can just forward 2. If it hits, you're gonna get. If you duck, you're gonna get wall splatted. Down forward 1. I could just keep it incredibly safe and just down forward 1. It's 10 extra damage, you know. I don't have to throw out my hell sweep if I don't want to get launched. I can throw out my safer lows like down back 4. Down for dash down forward. I never dashed it, that's why I missed, sorry. Dash down 4. Crazy good option. Dash down 4 will hit you if you tech roll and will hit you if you stay grounded. Just again beats both options. The only way you can beat that is by committing to a duck or low parrying. Another crazy move, a nerfed move, forward 4 in Jin. Hits grounded, so staying on the ground isn't even an option with this move. This is why people also want to stand up. If you stay grounded, this move will just hit you on the ground, and you're still in that horrendous 50-50 situation. And if you duck, it's sorry, I'm failing the back forward input. And if you duck, it's +8 and leaves you on crouch. So it just leaves the red and black Jin +8 at the wall against you. And the best thing is, let's say you guess right and you block mid, it's 0 on block. So I mean, that's why this option is just crazy good. You can see why they nerfed this move. If this move was +4 this season, this would be the best wall combo combination in the game, or one of the best at least. It's just, you know, it's just a move you can throw out. If you don't want to take no risk as the gym player, just do forward dash forward 4. Beats on the ground, beats ducking, and it's very safe against mid blocks. It's 0 and leaves them in crouch. So this is just an option that just beats everything. It's incredibly good option. You can see why they nerfed that move. So yeah, so we've been over it, guys. So it just allows you to take a 50-50, and it doesn't even need to be like, you know, hell sweep 50-50. It can be very safe 50-50. Down 4, down for 1, forward 4, forward 2, forward 3. Very safe moves. Sorry. So I'm just looking at my notes here. So I'll just say, lastly, just advice as if you're playing as the white Jin, just to understand which way you're tech rolling. This move acts very strange on tech roll. So if you tech roll right, sorry, I failed the forward 4 input. I failed it again. If I fail it a third time, I'm just gonna do forward 2. There. You can see if you tech roll right immediately and you get hit, it leaves you at the wall and they get a wall combo. The advantage of this is that if you get launched when you tech roll right, they're not going to get as much damage, and you'll see what I mean by as much damage. But it means if you do block the move, for example, if I do a forward 4, and if you block that, you're still going to be in this position where your back's against the wall. So if you tech roll right, it still leaves you in a great situation on block with his moves. So I'll show you the trade-offs if you tech roll this move left. Most people, when they tech roll, they just spam left. I think it's just out of habit. Most players, even good players I see, just spam tech roll left. And I think bad players maybe do it because they think maybe Jin's a Mishima, so his moves track left because he's got an electric. But that's not the case. But this is the interesting trade-off with this move at tech roll left. If you tech roll it left, it gets you out the wall, but the Jin gets a launch, you're getting like full comboed here. Sorry, I failed the wall combo, but you can see there, you would just take another like 18, 90 damage there, you know, if you guessed wrong. So tech rolling left, dangerous. The one advantages of tech rolling left is that if you make a successful block, like if you block that, the red and black Jin will be at the wall, whilst the defensive Jin now has the advantage. So now I'm in a worse scenario than the white Jin positionally. So that's something to keep in note. You might want to tech left. You might just say, I'm confident. He's gonna go for a mid now. I'm gonna tech roll left, block the mid, and now I'm gonna have the positional advantage. But if you guess wrong, for example, you think he's gonna block mid, and he hell sweeps, you're getting a full combo. Same if you duck and he does a launching mid. So just something to keep in mind. Interesting with how the move interacts with the right. Right's less damage on mistake to you, but worse position on block. So that's right. Left is more damage on mistake for you, but better position on when you make the correct decision. But overall, just summing up, guys are just forces a complete 50-50. Its position just completely leaving you flipped over makes you have no good offensive options on the ground, and you just have to take a 50-50 either by tech rolling or staying down. And like say, it's not a true 50-50. Like if you tech roll, you know, you can still block mid or low, but the favor is so much in Jins, it's unbelievable. So that's just something to remember about Geyser, is about the ways you can tech. So that's how I just sum it up. This is why I disagreed with 1-2-3 being a good move. It's just inconsistent, doesn't get you great stuff often. It very rarely works out, and when it works out, it's very little reward. Whereas Geyser, his new move, does more damage, flips over okay, makes an actual 50-50 compared to like a 1/3, 2/3 option for your opponent, and it's just crazy reward when you on hit. If you guess right, you just get absolutely crazy reward. Geyser will just be consistently do you more damage and give you this crazy mix-up. Of course, it's up to you if you use it all the time. I see a lot of good gym players, they mix it up, they won't always do it. So a lot of high level play, they'll still do Savage Sword at the end of a combo, and just to keep the positional advantage, because position is very strong at the wall in Tekken. But even good players, if they have a massive life lead, or if they need to just take a risk, like sometimes it's good to take risks, especially if you're behind, if they're calculated ones. Yeah, they'll do Geyser. So the point is Geyser's actually quite a good move, and you should just use it over 1-2-3 at any time. And I would just use any of Jin's wall enders over 1-2-3, apart from, like we said, the bigs at the start. So I hope I just clarified things for you with Jin's wall game. I've made my thoughts and opinions clear with it, and I've explained it efficiently enough. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.